Are there whistleblowers or informants missing right now?
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
Yes, there are whistleblowers going missing now in Washington, D.C. Yes, those whistleblowers are the ones who are saying that the Biden family is wholly and totally corrupt. That this family has been given the birthright of being Americans, of serving in our federal government. And what did they do? They took that opportunity to strip mine everything they were given for their own corruption and for their own benefit. And they used their position and their power in order to enrich themselves. This is laid evidenced by a whistleblower talking about the Romanian developments inside of the Biden crime family. So what happened here, ladies and gentlemen? Well, a member of the Romanian presidential delegation visited Washington, D.C. and met with then Vice President Joe Biden. They started wiring millions of dollars to the holding company that was run by the member of the Biden families who ran, effectively, there you go, all of the funds, Robinson Walker, LLC. This is the LLC that would get paid by foreign nationals and foreign governments when they would visit, and then that money would get dispersed to the Bidens. That company received $3 million from the Romanians, and then the Bidens received approximately $1.38 million of that Romanian money. So that solid evidence was being stacked up and given over to the House Oversight Committee. And what happened to these whistleblowers? Well, according to James Comer, now they've disappeared. The people who've disappeared, the ones who have gone missing, are the ones who are ratting out the Bidens. How many of them have disappeared? Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to James Comer talk about this major pressing issue, and we'll detail exactly what we think is happening in a moment. Watch.
You have spoken with whistleblowers. You also spoke with an informant who gave you all of this information. Where is that informant today? Where are these whistleblowers?
Well, unfortunately, we can't track down the informant. We're hopeful that the informant is still there. The whistleblower knows the informant. The whistleblower is very credible. And all we're asking the FBI with respect to the Form 1023 is, what did you do to investigate this allegation?
Hold on a second, Congressman. Did you just say that the whistleblower or the informant is now missing?
Well, we're hopeful that we could find the informant. Now, remember, these informants are kind of in the spy business, so they don't make a habit of being seen a lot or being high profile or anything like that. We have basic information with respect to what the informant has alleged, and it's very serious. It alleges that Joe Biden, when he was vice president, was involved in a quid pro quo with a foreign country in exchange for foreign.
So now there are whistleblowers, lots of them. We're going to go through exactly how many whistleblowers are coming out against the Bidens. I don't want you to get the impression that all of them have gone missing. One of them, however, has gone missing, this according to Town Hall. We have a shocking development in the Biden corruption probe regarding a key witness. This key witness has produced evidence of corruption of a Romanian deal and has linked the Bidens to Russia. Apparently, there was some Russian money involved here. They have produced devices and evidence that link the Biden shell companies to a pay-for-play quid pro quo with Romanians and the Russians. Along with China connections, well, ladies and gentlemen, now James Comer is saying that this whistleblower who has come forward to the committee is now gone. So how many whistleblowers have gone missing, James Comer? This seems like a bit of a crisis here because you won't be able to bring these charges forward without the evidence and the corroborating interviews that these whistleblowers would provide. James Comer.
Are there whistleblowers or informants missing right now?
Well, with what we've investigated and the people that we've tracked down, going back to the CEFC, the two main players in that business, as well as all the Americans, that were involved in the different Biden influence peddling schemes, as well as the Serbian national. The 9 of the 10 people that we've identified that have very good knowledge with respect to the Bidens, they're one of 3 things, Maria. They're either currently in court, they're currently in jail, or they're currently missing. So it's of the utmost importance that the FBI work with us to be able to try to identify what research they've done, what investigations they've done, because we have people that want to come forward. But honestly, Maria, they fear for their lives. Not only are the Biden lawyers and the Biden White House intimidating them, the media is trying to intimidate and discredit them. And I think if you look at the Rasmussen poll, 7 in 10 Americans are very concerned that Joe Biden's involved in a public corruption scheme, and they want to know more information.
So we can't find him, says James Comer. We just can't find. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. They fear for their lives. James Comer has been on this program saying the exact same thing. They fear for their lives. This is what you're up against. You don't live inside of a real country. You live inside of a country that has undergone a color revolution, and you have illegitimacy throughout the ranks of those in power, and they know it, and they're terrified, and so do the people. The people know it. There are 5 whistleblowers who've come forward against the Biden family. We're going to detail the 5 of them here. The whistleblowers against the Biden crime family. Here we go. Mike McCormick, former Obama White House stenographer Mike McCormick, this guy worked for Barack Obama, alleged that the FBI has ignored his evidence of foreign influence peddling in a conspiracy in Ukraine. McCormick told the New York Post that he has relevant information implicating Joe Biden and his family in business affairs in Ukraine. He submitted a tip to the FBI in February. McCormick has never heard back from the FBI. He said that he has evidence that will land the Bidens in jail, in prison. Unknown to the public at the time, Hunter Biden was already a board member of Burisma when Joe Biden pushed American foreign policy to begin investing in Ukrainian gas. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McCormick in his own words.
I went to the FBI and filled out their witness tip line. There's a website. You fill out all these tips, these web directions. I submitted it. If you lie to the FBI when you're submitting a tip like that, you can go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Joe Biden is lying. Joe Biden is a criminal. That's the bottom line. I don't care if he goes to Timbuktu or Ireland or anywhere. He's a criminal. And I've got the evidence. If they put me in front of the grand jury that's right now seated in Wilmington with Special Prosecutor David Weiss, my testimony becomes the evidence that will put him in jail or will lead to his impeachment. Probably lead to his impeachment first.
So you're saying that Joe Biden wasn't going to Ukraine to fight corruption. Joe Biden was going to Ukraine to help the natural gas industry. At the time, he knew that his son was on the board of the biggest natural gas business conglomerate in Ukraine.
To our knowledge, that guy, that whistleblower, that Obama employee has yet to be contacted by federal investigators. Got it. If he was coming out against Trump, how fast do you think that the DOJ and the FBI would be at his doorstep? Tony Bobulinski. Tony Bobulinski's another whistleblower. Tony Bobulinski managed the business dealings for the Bidens. He says that Joe Biden is a man who received enormous amounts of money from our enemies, the communist Chinese. Watch.
I didn't generate that email. James Gilliard generated that email. And in that email, James Gilliard goes through intimate detail of what each individual's requests were from a compensation perspective and how the equity in the enterprise would be divvied up. Very important. May 13th, that email was generated by somebody else to me. In that email, there's a statement where they go through the equity. Jim Biden's referenced as 10%, doesn't say Biden, it says Jim. And then it has 10% for the big guy held by H. I 1,000% sit here and know that the big guy is referencing Joe Biden. That's crystal clear to me because I lived it. I met with the former vice president in person multiple times, and I had been meeting and talking with Hunter Biden and Jim Biden and Rob Walker and James Gilliard.
Okay, so you have Joe Biden's business partner saying yes. This is stuff we've known since before the election. And now we have more whistleblowers. The IRS whistleblower. An IRS whistleblower alleged in 2023 that the Biden administration's political appointees within the Department of Justice are working to block charges against Hunter Biden for tax violations. In addition, the whistleblower alleges that David Weiss asked to be named as a special counsel in the probe. David Weiss is the attorney, the federal attorney, district attorney there in the state of Delaware. He asked a special counsel to be appointed, and he hasn't gotten a special counsel. This is the definition of a conflict of interest. It's the president's son. Where the hell is the special counsel? Where the hell is the special counsel? How can you possibly have political appointees by Joe Biden making these charging decisions? This whistleblower is saying that these political appointees are blocking the charges into Hunter Biden. Why? Because they know Hunter Biden's a doomed man. He's a scumbag, and he's going to go to jail for his crimes. There's new reporting out that Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually going to start a new special investigation into the sex crimes of the Bidens, and we are here for that. The lawyer for the IRS whistleblower detailing exactly why this person fears for his life or her life. Go.
If he stayed quiet and said nothing. So he's coming forward, but he knows that he's going to be attacked. And, really, attacks like this are kind of what he was worried about. But he wants to come forward, tell the truth. He's instructed us to reach out to both Democrats and Republicans on the Hill and let those statements that if they want to hear him and have him come in to the Hill and talk to him, let those statements rest where they are.
You see that as fairly threatening, that letter.
I don't think it helps, I don't think it helps whistleblowers as a whole. There is a strong contingent on the Hill that believes in the whistleblower programs to shine a light on government agencies and programs and to enable people to come forward without getting threatened.
Chuck Grassley has talked about other whistleblowers coming forward. Senator Chuck Grassley testified before the House New Select Subcommittee on Political Weaponization, said that whistleblower disclosures indicate that the FBI has evidence that Joe Biden is aware of family business schemes in a statement that directly contradicts the president. Grassley said the whistleblower's disclosures make clear the FBI has within its possession very significant, impactful, and voluminous evidence with respect to criminal conduct by Hunter and James Biden. Now, what does that mean? What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is a paper trail inside of the FBI. And this we know from last week. Ladies and gentlemen, an oversight letter and subpoena saying that the FBI has documents that directly show that the Biden family was captured inside of a clandestine operation, that means outside of America, a clandestine operation for influence peddling. At this point, we are reaching O.J. Simpson levels of DNA evidence of Biden family crime. The FBI has a document detailing a criminal scheme where Joe Biden gave a foreign national cash for access when he was vice president, Republicans said in a bombshell development investigation of the president's family. A whistleblower has come forward with stunning claims that include a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme involving Joe Biden was employed, as well as its purpose. Chuck Grassley and James Comer have issued a subpoena to the FBI. The FBI has rejected that subpoena without an explanation. So we continue, ladies and gentlemen. There's a DOJ whistleblower. Bribery allegations were brought to the Justice Department by a whistleblower in 2018 against President Joe Biden, but the allegations were ignored, a former federal prosecutor revealed. Bud Cummings, a former federal prosecutor, first reported the bribery allegations to then New York District Attorney Jeff Bergman on October 4th, 2018, while Donald Trump was president. Why the hell didn't we investigate? It makes me insane when I watch what happened last week, because what happened last week is James Comer held a presser. Where the hell were these press conferences when we had the power? James Comer last week Tens of millions of dollars. How can Joe Biden afford a beach house? How can he afford multiple beach houses? How can he afford a rare Corvette? Here's how. Watch.
The committee is concerned by the complicated, suspicious network of over 20 companies we have identified the Bidens and their associates used to enrich themselves. Most of these companies were limited liability companies formed during Joe Biden's vice presidency. The bank records show the Biden family, their associates, and their companies received over $10 million from foreign nationals and their companies. Some of that money came from a Chinese company and went to Hunter Biden's company. Other transfers occurred with the help of Rob Walker, who then sent it on to different Biden family members. This is not how lawful businesses operate. Chinese nationals affiliated with the Bidens created limited liability companies in the United States and then in a short period of time transferred their interest to a Chinese company that sent money to the Bidens. This is not normal. Hunter Biden and his associates courted business in countries that correlated directly with Joe Biden's work as vice president. This is also not normal. It is not ethical. And this is why we need legislative solutions. Our purpose here is to provide legislative solutions to prevent this unethical behavior from ever happening again.
Where were they? 9 members of the Biden family. 9 members. The entire Christmas card of the Biden family was getting dirty cash, including like his grandkids who are like tweens. They're like 12 years old, and they're getting dirty communist cash in a money laundering scheme from communist China. We just have to play one more clip. Check this insanity out.
Said that there's at least 9 Biden family individuals brought up today. Their memo today only includes 3. When are we going to learn about the other 6? Who are the others?
Well, since you asked, I will tell you. Joe Biden's son, Joe Biden's brother, Joe Biden's brother's wife, Hunter Biden's girlfriend or Beau Biden's widow, however you wanted to write that, Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Hunter Biden's current wife, and 3 children of the president's son and the president's brother. So we're talking about a grandchild. That's odd. Most people that work hard every day's grandchild doesn't get a wire from a foreign national or anything like that. So that'll conclude our.
Wait, so Joe Biden's grandchildren? Well, that was the first time we heard that. 9 members of the Biden family, plus his grandkids who are like teenagers now, who are like tweens, back when this scheme was going on. I could go on and on and on and on and on. We'll continue this. There's a lot of people covering a lot of things. We're going to continue down the path of the Biden family corruption till my dying breath here. I believe that this is the moral imperative for our country, having spent a little bit of time with my kids. I believe that the moral leadership of this nation matters. We should be led by moral people. We are a moral people, and without it, the country collapses, and that's what we're seeing.